Fog Racing is back with a brand new video, with a brand new game, and hopefully with a brand new series. But look at the choices, we don't have much to choose from. It's career mode or nothing in the brand new F1 Manager 2022 game. So really looking forward to play this game. I have seen like some clips, some images, some screenshots, and it kind of does remind me of Motorsport Manager for anyone that's played that. You could get it on like the PC or whatever, and it was like a manager game where you could download mods and stuff, and you could do F1, you could do NASCAR, I think you could do Formula 2, you could do like any sort of racing essentially. Formula E I believe was in it as well. But this is actually an official game, so this isn't like dodgy, mods and stuff like this. This is actually the real F1 game. So obviously they've got the game where you drive, the simulation game, and now they've got a manager game, which is interesting. We've seen this over the years. Remember there was like FIFA, and then they brought out like a FIFA manager. So, I'll be interested. I don't know if it's going to be a one-year game, like an annually released game. Maybe they could just do updates or something like that. I don't know if it's going to be an F1 manager game every single season, but I am excited to do this. So I'm glad that career mode's here, because what we're going to be doing on Fog Racing, we're going to be doing a co-op career mode, and essentially we're going to go the same team obviously, but we're going to work together while having our own individual driver. So I will be like the leader of one driver. I will be like engineer. I will be team engineer, or race engineer, race director, or whatever for driver for one driver, and then my brother will be the engineer for the other driver. So while we're working as a team to create the best possible outcome for the team, the best possible result for the team, we'll also have a sort of like individual solo battle where we will be wanting our driver to do well as well. But of course, like I said, it is a team game. So with that said, we're going to look quickly into the career mode here, and I'm also going to put a poll in the description. So it's going to be all 10 teams, and I want you to vote on which team we should go in our career mode. So I personally would rather kind of start at the back and try and work our way up, but I'm willing to go whatever team gets the most votes. So click on the link, start voting, and we'll see what team gets selected. But let's have a look then at the career mode and what it has to offer.
Hearts, minds, and nations, where the 20 best drivers in the world come together to take on some of the world's most historic circuits. And that legacy continues today. The 2021 championship was thrilling from start to finish, and 2022 is set to be even better. New regulations will usher in an age of pioneering changes. New driving talent alongside returning champions will be dueling it out to the bitter end. The pressure will be on the team principals in the upcoming season as they manage their drivers, their cars, and the whole team to push to victory. This is not a challenge for the faint-hearted. This is Formula One.
There you go, nice wee intro package there. This is Formula One. Yeah, Formula One. So yeah, here we go. Basically, you just get chucked into the team menu where you pick your team. We've got Mercedes. So we'll just quickly go through them all, and we'll have a look at the objectives for each team here. Now keep in mind, even if I do select a team here just to get to the next part, we're just looking at the menus here. We're just looking at what the introduction is like. This will not be final. This will not necessarily be the team that we're going. So you've got Mercedes, team rating. We've got, I believe that's like 5, so let's say 5 stars. Target, season objective, Ford long-term objective, constructor champions. That makes sense. Board budget is high. Team performance, car performance is 4 out of 10. Driver performance, 1st out of 10. So interestingly, they appear to have, as a pairing, Mercedes have the 2 best drivers on the grid. I think some people would agree with that. I think a lot of people would actually agree with that. Staff performance, Ford headquarters performance 2nd. Car 1, Lewis Hamilton. Car 2, George Russell. And then you've also got reserve driver Nick De Vries, which is a really good option. I wish they had this in the real F1 game. Like, I wish you could join a bigger team and maybe start off as a reserve driver. They used to have that in the old games. I remember the F1 2004 career. You could start as a reserve driver, so they definitely need to bring that back. Staff, you've got technical chief, head of aerodynamics, race engineers, and all that stuff. So, Bono, it's Bono. And then we've got a biography about Mercedes, which we are not really interested in reading. So, no offense, let's move on to Red Bull. Team rating, just short of the 5 stars. Season objective first, long-term objective Constructors' Championship. Starting balance is high. Car performance second, driver performance second, staff performance second, headquarters first. So you can see they're very, very solid. Interesting though, they have the second driver. I'm going to assume that maybe Perez is slightly bringing that down, but who knows. Car 1, you got Max first. I didn't know Buemi was still the reserve driver. That's weird. I thought Buemi was well gone from F1. So interesting to see that Buemi is still there. We move on to Ferrari. You have Charles Leclerc, Carlos Sainz, reserve driver Antonio Giovinazzi, the former Haas driver, I believe it was, or not Haas, Alfa. Fuck, who did he drive for? I can't remember. I can't remember. But he was Kimi's teammate, and I can't remember who Kimi drove for as well. That's embarrassing. But yeah, there you go. Let's have a look at their car performance first, driver performance third. So they have the third best drivers apparently. Interesting indeed. In terms of they're just over 4.5. Season objective first, long-term objective is the Constructors' Championship. McLaren just under the 4.5 star team ratio. Season objective 5th, Constructors' Championship is a long-term objective. Car performance 8th. Wow, that's very, very low. Driver performance 5th. A bit surprised as well. I mean, considering how bad Ricardo is, I thought that would have been a bit lower. Interesting. Reserve driver Stoffel van Dorn. Remember him? Alonso smoked his ass. Who knows? Maybe McLaren would be a good option to go. But yeah, if I went McLaren, I think the main goal would be probably replacing Danny Ricciardo at the end of the first season, because I just don't think the guy's that good. But yeah, let's have a look at the next option. You've got Alpine, Fernando Alonso. Obviously, we know him, the legend. In car 2, we've got Esteban Ocon, who is a very, very solid driver. Reserve driver Oscar Piastri. In terms of performance, car is 5th, driver performance is 4th, staff performance 4th, and headquarters is 8th. So again, Alpine looks solid all round. Team ratings 3 stars. Long-term objective Constructors' Champion. Season objective 4th. It looks like everybody's long-term objective is to be the Constructors' Champion. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because you want to have ambition. Obviously, you want to win titles, but not everybody can be Constructors' Champions, so a bit weird there. Alpine, though, very solid option. Let's move on to the next one. It is AlphaTauri. Just 2.5 stars. Season objective 6th. Long-term objective podium contender, and they seem to be the first team that do not intend to win a title. I guess they don't really care about winning the titles when that goes to the big brother team, Red Bull. Car performance 6th. Driver performance 8th. I think that's harsh. I don't know. Is Gasly and Tsunoda really the 8th best pairing on the grid? I don't know. What do you think? Reserve driver Liam Lawson, never heard of him, but there you go. Another option there is AlphaTauri. Then we move on to Aston Martin, 2.5 stars. Season objective 8th. Long-term objective points contender. Really? That's the long-term goal? That's embarrassing. You'd think that Aston Martin straight away would want to be trying to score points like in the first season, never mind long-term objective to be. That's sick. That's really, really sad there. And Alonso's joining in this team in real life. I mean, I hope that's not their long-term objective in real life, just to score points, or else Alonso should rip up that contract. In terms of car performance, they're 9th. Driver performance, they're 7th. Now see, I don't understand how anyone at this stage in F1, how can you say that Vettel and Stroll are a better collective unit than Gasly and Tsunoda? I just don't. We're not talking prime Vettel here. We're talking 35-year-old, makes mistakes constantly Vettel. I don't agree with that there. Their driver performance being 7th out of 10th. I really, really don't. Reserve driver Nico Hülkenberg. Who knows? If Vettel wants to retire, you could always stick Nico in the seat. Or who knows? If we take over the team, that means Lance Stroll's daddy. Who's your daddy, Lance? That means he's not in charge anymore. So we could promote Nico Hülkenberg and have 2 Germans driving the car. Who knows? That could be an option. Williams, just over 2 stars. Season objective 9th. Long-term objective points contender. Starting budget low. Car performance is 10th, driver performance 9th, staff 9th, and headquarters 7th. You've got car 1, Latifi, car 2, Albon, reserve driver Jack Aitken. So, again, I think if I took over Williams, my main issue would be getting rid of Nicholas Latifi early on. I don't know if you can get rid of a driver straight at the beginning, or whether you have to wait at least a season or halfway through a season, but for me, I would be trying to get rid of Latifi straight away. But Williams would be a decent option, try and bring them back to their glory days. Up next, we have Alfa Romero, just over 2 stars, season objective 5th, long-term objective podium contender. Car performance, they've got the 4th best car. Very interesting. Driver performance 6th, staff performance 7th, headquarter qualities 9th. Obviously Bottas in car 1, Guang Wei Su is in car 2, and Robert Kubica in car 3, essentially the reserve driver. I always think Kubica's career's sad, you know. I think this guy had so much potential, but he never really got to, you know, show us it because of just, you know, a couple of really bad car crashes and horror injuries. But there you go, Alfa Romero, an option. And then finally we move on to the last team. Mick Schumacher, Kevin Magnussen, make-up Haas. Would be an interesting option, just over 2 stars. Season objective is to finish 6th, podium contender long term. In terms of car performance, they're 7th, but the game reckons they have the worst driver lineup. I don't agree with that. I definitely don't agree with that. Come on. How do Williams have a better driver pairing than Haas? I mean, no way. There's no way Latifi and Albon are better than Magnussen and Schumacher. I don't agree with that at all. But guys, there you go. There's all the teams. There's all the options. I'm not going to go too much more into the career mode. I don't want to ruin it. What you need to do now is go into the description, vote on the link, and pick whatever team you want us to go. Now, keep in mind, what I would prefer is a team that isn't exactly at the top. And I would kind of like, I think, for the first season, to pick a team where we have 2 drivers that are kind of equal. But again, it's up to you. If you want to see us go a team that's at the top, if you want to see us go a team where one driver's great and one driver's shit, that could be very interesting. Could make for some really good races, and some maybe fiery moments. But it's all up to you guys. Go into the poll, vote for the team you want us to go, and we'll hopefully have the first episode of the new career mode up later tonight. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time, been Fog Racing. Peace.